We're back. I've got Cindy cut. Now I'm putting on her red copper, the dark red copper on her roots. And already you can see the shape is going to be fabulous. You can see her natural wave already trying to come out. And that's going to give me a real good idea of where to put these intense copper blonde pieces. And I'm going to paint them on these ends. So first what I'm going to do is put her roots on. I'm going to get this on quickly. And as this is processing, I'll do my balayage. Now, on some of the pieces, I'm going to pull through. I'll pull this 7RC from the roots to the ends. And then I'll have some pieces with the intense copper on it. So we'll have that mix of this intense, this really gorgeous copper on the roots with these intense copper highlights around the face. And like I said, I'm going to mainly put them in the bangs. I'm going to put it in the longest part of the hair, framing the face where the hair would get light naturally anyway. So, and it'll play up the curls. Whether she wears her hair smooth or whether she wears it curly, that color will really play up the haircut. So I'll be back in a few minutes and you'll get to see where I put that balayage at, and you'll see it processing. I'm back. We've got Cindy's 7RC, that dark red copper blonde on the roots. I've pulled some of the pieces from the roots to the ends. I've pulled some color through just to reverse a little bit and create a little bit of darker in the back. But the front area where the hair is the longest at, you can see I've left her ends out. And these are the ends I want to do a little balayage. So I lift this out of the way, get the top, lift that out. I'm going to start on underneath. Now I know right around her face here, we want to see some brighter ends. And this is the longest part of this cut. So I'm going to take this little hunk right here, see how big it is. We want it not too skimpy, but not too big. I put it in here and twist it. That way you don't have an obvious line of where you've put it on, where it starts. And I keep it towards the ends on the underneath. As I get to the top, you could pull it through and put a little bit more in there, a little closer to the roots. And I'm going to pull this piece down. You see this lighter, drier end? I'm going to rub it on, twist it in. You can do them smaller, you can do them thicker, you can do them however you want to. You can be as creative as you want. But since I've already cut her hair, I know these ends won't be cut off. So even for her next haircut, I could do her cut. If she wants to touch up the little highlights again on the ends, I do the same thing. Do it after I cut it. Now I'm grabbing a little bigger chunk here because this is the thicker, longer hair, and I want them to look a little more obvious. So I just twirled it in there. I'm going to just work my way up. This piece you see is going to come right over her eye. I'm going to split that into two because it is a thicker piece. And I'm dabbing it on here and twisting it in. Now place them so we don't blind the client. Keep that back. We've got another hunk right here. Let's do this piece. Dipping the fingers in, painting, just brushing it on and twirling it in. That way it creates a real subtle, you don't have an obvious line of where it starts. And what's nice are these are the pieces that already were, light from the sun anyway. Twist it in. Now we're in the crown. We want a few up here, but we want these towards the end. Rub that in, that'll be okay. I'm dabbing my fingers in and twirling this in. Another piece right here. This is on the top layer. This is a great way to do when they don't need highlights all over, but yet they need a little brightness on a short haircut. And instead of just putting in that typical foil, this is a new way to do it. It's easier, it's quicker, and it's a different effect, and it just looks a little more modern. It's just a nice change, and it's a good way to play with color. A good way to practice. So if you want to be creative, try it this way. Now I've got it, when I see it from the front, I know I've got a nice amount in the longest part, but I do want to come right here at this side because I've got a few longer pieces. Let's paint these a little bit, just a dab, just because it's the longest part of her hair. And I know that some of this will fall over, thank you. Didn't fit to sit on her skin. We're painting a little bit more. Oh, fabulous color. I do have, once I shampoo this off, I do have a glaze that I would like to use, and the glaze is for super shine. It gives it more body, and it just takes it up just another little notch. It makes that brightness just super shiny, so I will put that over this color when I shampoo it off. You put it on damp hair, so that'll stay on 15 minutes, shampoo it off, and you'll dry it and get to see it finished. Oh, I found another piece. I want one more right here, because this was a little longer right here. This is one you really get creative to play. Now, we've got it on there. You'll see the finished look in just a minute.
Mm-hmm. Very nice work, Stephanie.
Great. You can see I've got Cindy finished, and her new color is just so fabulously shiny. You can see where I did that little balayage technique in that front, and it gave her these nice, textured, really piecey, bright, intense copper highlights in there.